So you're thinking about quitting your job. Maybe you're tired, you're burnt out, you're frustrated, or you just feel stuck. You're not alone. A lot of people feel the same way. But before you hand in that resignation letter, please pause, because this video might save you from making one of the biggest career mistakes of your life. And this is not another video telling you not to quit. Nah, I personally think that one of the most misleading quotes of all time is the quote, "Quitters never win and winners never quit." You've heard it many times. What if I told you that that quote is misleading because it cannot apply in every context? It's dangerously oversimplified and it promotes stubbornness over strategy. A winner is the person who knows when to persist and when to walk away. Now that is a superpower. Sometimes the fastest path to growth and success is recognizing a dead end and redirecting your energy. Sometimes in your career journey, you have to abandon what isn't working any longer. You may have to quit your job, but listen to this. How you quit matters. I've seen too many people destroy their careers by making critical mistakes when leaving their jobs. These mistakes follow them for years. If you quit your job the wrong way, it can have huge consequences for your career, your finances, and your future. So today, I want to walk you through the 7 biggest mistakes people make when considering quitting their jobs, and more importantly, how to avoid them. Now, numbers 2, 6, and 7 are absolutely critical, so you want to stay till the end. I'm Miles, by the way, and I assist with life navigation. I'm an international management consultant and a personal growth mentor. And if you're thinking about making a career move or you want to be prepared for when that day comes, this video is a must watch. Let's dive in. Now, quitting your job is not a sign of failure or weakness. Most times it's an act of courage and strategic clarity. It's about making room for growth and better opportunities. Now, quitting your job can be powerful, but only when it is strategic, intentional, and when it's done at the right time, when it's aligned with your future goals and aspirations. But how you leave your job is important. It shapes your future and your legacy. So now I'm going to talk about the 7 biggest mistakes people make when quitting their jobs. One of the biggest career mistakes you can make is letting your emotions hijack your judgment. Quitting in the heat of the moment might feel like freedom, but it often leads straight to regret. You had a bad week. Maybe you're angry at your boss, you're upset with a colleague, or you're simply fed up with the workload. When you're angry, exhausted, or feeling undervalued, it's easy to want out. But here's the problem. Emotions are temporary, while the consequences of quitting are long-term. Emotional decisions are often impulsive. They're poorly planned, and they might be disconnected from your actual career goals. You might think you're solving a problem, but you're really just running away from discomfort, and that discomfort could be an opportunity for growth. Always separate how you feel from what's real. Don't trade a stable income for short-term emotional relief, and never let a bad day make a decision your future self has to suffer for. Be wise, be strategic, pause, reflect, lead with clarity, not emotion. A bad day at work is not a good reason to burn your career down. Now, number 2 is thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves when we're unhappy at work. It will be better somewhere else, the hours will be better, the boss will be nicer, the culture will be healthier. But here's the truth. The grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. Now, too many people make impulsive job switches based on comparison, fantasy, or even envy, without realizing that every job, every company, and every boss has its own set of problems. You think you're escaping stress, but what if you're just swapping one set of headaches for another? Now, here's the twist. Sometimes the real issue isn't where you are, it's who you are in that space. Are you growing? Are you fully showing up? Are you learning to navigate challenges, or are you just running away from them? Bad managers are a good reason people quit their jobs, but learning to navigate difficult personalities is a career superpower. Yes, change can be good, but change without clarity is just motion, not progress. So before you jump ship, ask yourself, are you leaving something bad, or you're chasing something imagined? Sometimes what you think is a better opportunity is just a mirage, because dissatisfaction doesn't disappear with new scenery. It follows you if it lives inside you. Now, number 3 is not having a concrete next step planned. Now, one of the biggest and most costly mistakes you can make is not having a concrete next step plan. You've been thinking about quitting your job, but do you know what comes next? Do you have a plan for what you're going to do after you leave? Quitting without a plan isn't bold, it's blind. The reality is that without a clear next step, you are setting yourself up for uncertainty. If you quit without a job lined up or a business idea ready to launch, you risk falling into financial instability. Now, job hunting can take months, and if you're going into entrepreneurship, that requires significant planning and investment. This is the biggest mistake people make. They're emotionally done with their job, but they have no clear idea of what comes next. No new job offer, no business strategy, no financial plan, just vibes, And here's what happens when reality hits. Rent is due, your savings isn't as deep as you thought, and every day you're waking up without direction. You can't afford to jump into the unknown without a safety net. So whether you're moving to a new job, launching a business or taking a sabbatical, know what you're doing and why. If you don't know what's next, you're not transitioning, you're escaping. Now, number 4 is giving in to peer pressure or external validation. Now, when it comes to quitting a job, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is giving in to peer pressure or the need for external validation. See, it's a very powerful yet subconscious force that can heavily influence your decisions, leading you to make choices that you wouldn't otherwise make. Now, imagine this. You're in a workplace where many of your colleagues or friends are unhappy. They're all venting about how miserable they are or how they're looking for something better. Then you start to feel the pressure. Maybe I should leave too. That's what you start to think. It starts as a small doubt, but then it grows as you see everyone around you doing the same thing. Before you know it, you're making decisions based on what others are doing, not what you need. You start to think, if I stay, what will people think of me? Or if I quit, will I be seen as brave or independent or successful? The reality, you're letting the opinions of others guide your life decisions instead of your own values and your needs. You see, this need for external validation can be very subtle. You might not realize it's happening until it's too late. Sometimes it's your friends or family pressuring you to do something better with your life or making you feel like staying in your current job is a sign of weakness or failure. Now, while their intentions may be good, the truth is that only you know what's best for you. Quitting because of peer pressure or a desire to seek external validation doesn't just mean you're not making decisions for yourself, but it also often leads to regret later on. You might end up jumping onto the next job, and then the next job, just trying to please others or following the latest trend without truly understanding what makes you fulfilled. So what's the solution? Take a step back and ask yourself, am I making this decision because it aligns with my values and goals, or because I'm worried about how I'll be perceived? Tune out the noise, block out the opinions of others, and do what truly feels right for you. Make sure your choices are grounded in self-awareness and clarity, and not in, the fear of judgment or the pressure to conform to others. Now, number 5 is romanticizing entrepreneurship without understanding its reality. See, we often hear the phrase, start your own business, be your own boss. This sentence has launched thousands of resignations. While entrepreneurship is powerful, it's not easy. Entrepreneurship isn't a fantasy, it's a battlefield. It can seem like an easy escape from the 9-to-5 grind, but it comes with its own set of challenges, long hours, financial instability, constant uncertainty, and the need to wear multiple hats. Now, starting a business requires more than just passion. It requires preparation, a solid financial plan, and a high level of resilience. Now, without these, the dream of being your own boss could quickly turn into a nightmare. As a business owner, you're not just your own boss, you're your own finance department, customer support, marketing, operations, and IT. You don't work 9 to 5 anymore. Now, guess what? You work 24/7. So before quitting your job to start a business, make sure you understand what it really takes to start a business. Research, plan, and prepare for the reality of entrepreneurship, because it's not as glamorous as it seems. Don't quit your job without a business model capital, a marketing plan, or financial backing. Entrepreneurship is not an escape. It's a calling, and it comes with a cost. Now, number 6 is insufficient financial preparation. Freedom sounds great, but freedom without a financial foundation is stress in disguise. If there's one thing you cannot overlook, it's your financial preparation. Quitting your job without a financial cushion is one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make. So whether you're jumping into a new job or you're starting your own business, you need to make sure that you're financially ready. Without enough savings, you're gambling with your financial stability. Job searches take time, and businesses don't always make money right away. You need at least 3 to 6 months of your living expenses saved up to cover yourself during the transition. Now, without this, you're setting yourself up for unnecessary stress and pressure. Now, quitting your job may also mean you're walking away from health insurance, retirement plans, and paid leave. Benefits you may not realize can be very expensive until they're gone. Always have a financial cushion and a well thought out budget before making a big career change. Financial security is the foundation for a successful transition. Now, number 7 is burning bridges through an unprofessional exit. So you've decided to leave. That's fine, but how you leave matters. Some people rage, they quit others, they ghost their responsibilities, some even badmouth their company on their way out. This can damage your reputation and it can hurt your career in the long run. Now, leaving a job on bad terms can follow you. The professional world is smaller than you think, and those relationships you burn could be the ones you need later. So whether you're looking for references or networking opportunities, a graceful exit is essential for maintaining good relationships. One day, you might even need to return to your old organization. Your reputation would either open doors or close them. If you decide to leave, do it respectfully, give notice, complete your tasks. Leave with professionalism. Your future self will thank you for it. So if you're considering quitting your job, think long and hard before making any decisions. Whether it's the emotional drive to leave, peer pressure, or unrealistic expectations, take a step back and plan for the future. Don't let temporary discomfort cloud your judgment. Remember that quitting your job is a major life decision, make it wisely. If you avoid these 7 mistakes, you'll be in a better position to make the best decision for your career. Not just your career, your financial stability and your personal growth. Now, quitting your job can be powerful, but only when it's intentional, strategic, and it's aligned with your future. Make your next move your best move. And if you're torn between following your passion and taking a job to pay your bills, you don't want to miss the next video. I'll see you there.